It is time once again to yell at all of you to get off my lawn because it's the Dave 101.
It's time for Dave 101.
Open the door, it's Dave! Dave, D-A-V-E! Dave's not here! Dave's the killer! Yeah! Dave's the killer! Dave's a mess.
Well, I think it's almost time to wave the white flag when it comes to disclosure because it's pretty much time for ufology to give up. What do I mean by this? Well, the way things are going right now behind the scenes that many of you may not be following is that there's a little group out there that is coming together politically in order to take over the UFO topic. It's all happening in Washington, D.C. If any real journalist was actually covering this subject, they would know about how strange, how weird, how trying this subject actually is. But no, because it's UFOs, it doesn't get the coverage that it deserves with what is going on. Because realistically, this Enigma group that's out there, Enigma Labs, that are brand new, well, they're about to take everything over. I hate to say it, but I think it's going that way. Recently, we have learned that MUFON, the Mutual UFO Network, and their executive director, David McDonald, has been in Washington, D.C., talking about trying to get MUFON in as the civilian coordinator for all civilian reports. Well, Enigma wants that. They've said it on their website. Enigma has allegedly already has a contract, which I found out today, with AARO, the UFO group, and Mr. Sean Kirkpatrick, who runs it. Well, Sean Kirkpatrick and his team were also talking to MUFON. They have been pushing towards getting Enigma Labs underway and in the door. So that's two. Do you see where I'm going with this connection here? So when you add it all together, NASA is working with Enigma. AARO is allegedly now working with Enigma. And does MUFON fall into that category as soon to be working with Enigma, although it hasn't been announced? This Enigma Labs is literally run by a billionaire with a millionaire who is putting it all together. Yes, Peter Thiel, who's very well known in PayPal, in Facebook, in social media, as well as with government contracts, as well with a high influence and donations to who gets elected in the United States, has thrown about $5 to $8 million into the UFO brand called Enigma Labs. And they're being so secretive about it, they don't want anybody to know. It's like they're embarrassed that they don't want people to know who's involved with them. Yeah. It all seems a little too fishy. How this group comes out of nowhere and allegedly gets a contract with the brand new AARO program in Washington, D.C. They're asking for reports from pilots, both commercial and military. They want to run it all. They're asking for civilian reports to come on in. Well, unless they have a team of operators that is standing by 24/7 at $5.99 a minute, I would suggest do not give them your report because you know where it's going. Do you really need any alphabet agency, spy agency, having your personal information about your own ET contact, about your own UFO contact, or what you witnessed in the sky? As a good friend has said, giving your info to Enigma equals giving your info to the CIA. Now, that's something I don't want, even though they probably have all my stuff for me doing this show for 8.5 years. Pretty sure that they do. No, it's a sad day for ufology when one group, brought to you by millions, has come in and swept it all up, and they will sweep it all under the cover in the name of profit. Profit from budgets, profit from the government. And that's what they're going to do. It may not look like it yet, but mark my words, because I don't think I'm wrong. And it's funny to watch the big players in the background, behind the scenes, all scrambling to figure out whether or not Enigma should be supported. There are many out there, believe it or not, who are not supporting this drive for one way or another. It feels to a few people I've talked to that they are being bought off for their information. And trust me when I say this, Enigma is throwing some big money at some big name people within ufology. We're talking 6 figures. If they came to me and offered me 6 figures, I would say no. I would, because I don't feel comfortable with their end goal. It would have to be millions, because I'm worth millions. Trillions, maybe. No, they don't have that, but maybe $1 billion from Peter Thiel. He can afford it. He can give up one to old Davy. But nonetheless, what does this mean for you? You, the public, who has had an experience so extraordinary that all you're looking for is an answer. Well, let me tell you this. The doors are tightening and they're closing. If you don't want big government and big government agencies to have your personal phone number, address, the color of your bathroom sink, how many pairs of shoes you have in your closet, and how many forks have gone missing from your utensil drawer. How does that happen, by the way? Spoons at my house. Nonetheless, it happens, it's happening, and it's very uncomfortable. Because now, if MUFON does jump on board with this, where does the public go for their reports? Who do you hand them to? Can you trust the MUFON field investigators, even though they had no say regarding any of these meetings? I think if it comes out that MUFON has indeed joined up with Enigma Labs for reporting, I think you're going to see a giant walkout from MUFON members. I really do. I'm also hearing that some of the board of directors and people high up in MUFON are not very fond of the plan that is going on. Remember, MUFON was started as being a watchdog for the people who didn't quite understand why their sighting was being called silly things like swamp gas or Venus in the sky. Yes, MUFON was supposed to be the ones for the people, the voice of the people who didn't have a say in ufology. But they are dying for popularity and to be in the UFO game so bad that they can't understand the difference between rolling a 7 with 2 dice or rolling snake eyes. To them, it's the same. They've rolled snake eyes, which means they will get into bed with anybody they want, give up whatever information they want, all in the good name of having the MUFON tag to disclosure. And I've talked to people at MUFON about this, and I said, hey, guys, aren't you supposed to be there for the people? Aren't you supposed to be there for what we are talking about? What we are seeing, experiencing? I've talked to a couple of state directors for MUFON who are unsure of what they're doing. Their teams are standing pat right now, wondering What the hell is going on? Yes, ufology and disclosure are in trouble. This is officially a government game. Exactly what all these old timers, these dinosaurs of ufology, have been claiming for the last 5 years since the inception of the To the Stars Academy. And here we are. Where do you go for your reports? Now, some will blindly follow Enigma. It happens to every group. Okay? If there's a split off of this show, we lose listeners because they go with other hosts. No, this is about control, everyone. This is about controlling the narrative. We have always said on this show, and we have stayed true to this word, that this is a narrative that is being played out. We've said since the beginning to be careful for what you wish for. And this is the reason why we have always said, and I say this as a reminder, that we are in a confirmation movement, not a disclosure movement. For remember, disclosure means information. Confirmation is just confirmation of the unknown to the known. We know that UFOs are here. The government knows that UFOs are here. Even the janitors at Area 51 know that aliens are here. But some may laugh at it differently. This goes beyond what Lockheed Martin is doing. This goes beyond what Boeing is doing or Raytheon or any other defense contractor. They just want the toys. And they're building those toys. But this is about UFOs and what people are seeing. And right now, there are a bunch of orphans out there in UFO land who really will have nowhere to go very soon. So find your place to gather. Find your place to share information, and I don't recommend Facebook groups. What I do recommend is some brainiac out there who has the money to back it to create a watchdog group where people can turn in their reports and people can feel comfortable that their information is going to be protected. It's not about an app on a phone. It's not about making sure that you have the latest and greatest in technology sitting in your hand. So when you get that UFO, you can send it there in real time. Who cares about that? Some do. I don't. For me, it's making sure that you, the experiencer or the eyewitness, has your information protected. And right now, I cannot say anywhere that I know of that will protect your privacy, your phone numbers, your address, your date of birth, how many people are in your family, your middle names, your dog's name, your email, where you work, and everything that belongs personally to you. Sit on those and wait for somebody to be the knight in shining armor who comes down from the sky above riding a horse with a spear, ready to poke the eyes out of those who are taking over the narrative. And trust me, that narrative is not going anywhere for a long, long time. I hate to be the man of doom and gloom, but I say all of this to protect you out there, to make sure that you understand that going to MUFON right now, it's dangerous, especially if you have one of those grade A reports. Just sit on it for a while. Watch how this plays out, because it isn't getting any prettier, and it's only going to get uglier. And that ugliness happens to be Enigma Labs. That is your Dave 101 for this week. Do me a favor when you see it on YouTube. Leave me a comment below. Let me know what you think. What is your ideas? You think I'm right? You think I'm wrong? You let me know.